Hey everybody, good morning. How are you? My name is Chris Stipes, and we are hearing more from eyewitnesses who not only witnessed the initial fire at that fertilizer plant, but also felt the ground rock. We continue to follow this breaking news happening right now. Do they believe him to be armed right now and possibly armed with more explosives? Live pictures from Sky Fox over the scene right now. We are getting a clearer perspective, and my goodness, I have never seen anything like this. Good evening, I'm Chris Stipes. Thanks for being here, everybody. A suspected sexual predator is set to be in court tomorrow. Live from New York City tonight, the countdown continues to the 2014 NFL Draft. Nothing but ice. Let me walk on it, which I tried to do earlier. And there is absolutely no way to keep your balance. So as you can see, we've got about just about 24 people walking here. They're holding up signs, begging for buses. The U.S. Supreme Court will not stay the execution, so the execution will go on. New on Fox, a man and a woman try to hold up a McDonald's restaurant, and some employees end up locked inside of a freezer. We have a follow-up tonight to a story about a customer who sued a Houston stripper. This is a story people are talking about all over the world, in fact. Hey, the most interesting man in the world has been kidnapped from Pasadena. Okay, not literally kidnapped, more like cardboard cutout napped. Got his hands in the air, laying on the ground. Police have their weapons drawn. And we don't know if there's anyone else in that vehicle right now, and that's what police have to be very cautious about. This has been quite a mess since just before 6 o'clock this morning. 610 the West Loop shut down in both directions, northbound and southbound, all because of this. Take a look off into the distance. And the girl that I asked to prom, she said yes.
Oh,
and then she later came back and said, "Oh, I thought you were just joking," and she ended up going with my best friend. I kid you not. I didn't go to prom because of it. The Lego Movie stacked up. That was creative, right? You get it? Stacked up pretty well against the competition, coming in first at the box office. Woo! Nailed that one, didn't I?
Let's go! Oh, dance, now everybody move.
How many times a week does somebody come up to you and say, "Hey, buddy"?
All right, I'm leaving now.
Yeah, he was waiting for it.
Whoa.
There's going to be a
wrap-off.
gift wrap-off. Not like a, not that kind of wrap-off, which is another day. I'm a procrastinator. I wait until April, and then actually my wife does the taxes. That's another story. But you say, do it right now. What strategies, in your opinion, that's how I roll. What's the difference between Mary Jo in 2002, before your aneurysm, and you now? There are no, at least at this time, photographs of his death, so there are going to be conspiracy theorists out there who say, wait a second, I'm not convinced.
It's a great life now.
How much pressure was there on you to live this life where you come from humble beginnings, and then you go on to make tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars? At the crux of it all, the defense said that he was too rich to know right from wrong. And he's not going to jail. This is a perfect example of the power of anonymity. When people aren't face to face, they're a lot more brave, a lot more confident to talk like that. The big question is anybody inside? As I mentioned, we did hear that there is potentially a person trapped inside. It's an epidemic right now, the inability of people to correctly spell and also use grammar.
This is not spelling your versus your versus your.
No, these are the building blocks for education. If you can spell, then you can communicate. There's no shortage of evidence against this guy because most, if not all, of the businesses burglarized are equipped with surveillance cameras, and you can see the burglar's face clear as day. This is the NBA Twitter wall. So say you send out a tweet and use the hashtag NBA Jam Session or NBA All-Star Game. Maybe your tweet and your picture will appear on here. Oh, the competition is heating up. The Frisbees are flying. Take a look. We're at the first Lone Star Regional Robotics Competition.
He's going to release Tommy, who got a nice bite in the butt.
Just because of that, I promise I will never commit a crime. Oh my goodness. This is really high. Here we go, baby. Well, I'm coming by the Four Seasons sign right now. Woo! This is one heck of a workout. I asked for the wetsuit that has built-in abdominal muscles. That one was unavailable, so I'm stuck with this. We're going to make it work, though.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Stipes.
Thanks for waking up to Fox 26 Morning News. It's just about 5 a.m. right now, and it looks like something straight out of a scary movie. Fog so thick you can barely see what's in front of you at times, and that's what you're going to have to drive in this morning, perhaps. Fort Atkinson live in West Houston this morning, where the fog, last time we checked, was pretty thick. And Ford, that's what's interesting. You can drive for a half a mile, and it's really thick, and then you go, and there's nothing. Let's take a look at this morning's other non-fog related top stories. Today, this is a crazy story. Listen to this. The Mack Hike car salesman accused of killing his manager, expected to be in court. We'll be there as well. The manager, Robert Kuntz, died yesterday. Police say he got into an argument with this man, 49-year-old Keith Grimmett, last Friday, when Grimmett pulled out a gun inside his office and shot him in the neck.
From your Houston Traffic Authority.
I'm digging those shoes, by the way. We need to get a wide shot. Shiny. Mr. GQ over there. Hey, sports is next. There's been speculation for weeks now, but now it is official. Texas A&M redshirt freshman quarterback Johnny Manziel is a Heisman Trophy finalist, no doubt about it. Nicknamed Johnny Football, Manziel is the favorite, in fact, to win college football's Player of the Year award on Saturday night in Manhattan. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris Stipes. Let's go over to Caitlin over there in the Fox Red Weather Center. So, Caitlin, I did my Christmas tree shopping yesterday, and I went big this year. We got a 9-foot Fraser fir. We usually get like a 6 or 7 footer, but this thing's massive. But I found it interesting because we're searching through the lot for the perfect tree, and I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt. Kind of felt un-Christmassy, you know. It's like 80 degrees out. So the weather may be unseasonably warm. Now we know the flu is coming unseasonably early. And the strain this year is making people pretty sick. Our Andrea Watkins, quite healthy this morning, joins us in the newsroom. And Andrea, there isn't a good kind of the flu to get, but some strains are worse than others, right? Countries that mix high fructose corn syrup into processed foods and soft drinks, you know, soda, have much higher rates of diabetes than countries that do not use it. Let's get the breakdown from the Fox medical team, Dr. Mike Sirigliano, live in Philadelphia right now. So, Dr. Mike, how safe or how dangerous, for that matter, is the sweetener? I mean, to people who, let's say, drink a lot of soda, should they be concerned? Kansas City Chiefs head coach Romeo Crennel has broken his silence about the details of Javon Belcher's murder-suicide over the weekend. During a news conference yesterday, Coach Crennel said he tried in vain to talk the young linebacker out of committing suicide, just 25 years old. Belcher shot and killed his 22-year-old girlfriend. Experts say stress and pressure can drive an ordinary person to do the unthinkable. But what causes a highly paid, highly popular professional athlete, somebody that seems to have everything, to just snap? As Fox 26's Rita Garcia tells us this morning, there may have been warning signs ahead of time. This is the scene of a massive fire at an apartment complex in Irving. It broke out last night. 2 people were treated for burns. 3 others treated for smoke inhalation. In all, about 20 units were destroyed, displacing nearly 60 residents. It's not clear just yet what sparked this fire. Everybody hitting the malls. We had the Black Friday frenzy. So let's go over. You have 5 pieces of advice, and the first one is pretty obvious, but it's something that a lot of people probably get away from, and that's set a spending limit. All right, here we go. It's the yearly argument pitting husband against wife, mom against dad, brother against sister. Do you buy a real Christmas tree or do you get an artificial one? Sales of fake trees are expected to top $1 billion this year. And the average price for a real tree will run you about $35. Wish I knew that yesterday.
And Fox just picked up a full season, so that's very exciting.
Really cool.
Yeah, congratulations for that.
Thank
I mean, how
you.
much when you're starting out with a new show is like, okay, are they going to like it? Are they going to like it?
Yeah.
And then they do. It's got to be some relief. You got a steady paycheck coming in.
Yeah,
People
just
like
you get to breathe.
Hey, Don. Hey, Melinda. Good evening. This yard is an absolute mess. It is massively overgrown, and that might just be an understatement. Let me step out of the way. You can judge for yourself. The homeowners live on Social Security. They both have had health issues, and they can't afford to hire anybody to clean it up. But now it appears they might not have to. When Jimmy McDonald drove by this Katy yard and saw overgrowth galore, massive bushes, dead trees, rotting plants, and mounds of trash,
Devastation. It's just horrible.
he was compelled to turn around.
For the last many years, a lot of people have been driving by and keeping on driving.
Not you.
No, man. God told me to turn around, and I didn't question him. I turned around.
In the middle of all that growth, he found 73-year-old homeowner Virginia Zillick, who cannot speak. Throat cancer stole her voice a year ago.
Things just got beyond her control.
It also stole her ability to care for the yard she's loved for the past 42 years, the yard she raised 4 kids in. We bought the house for a garden for me. You love to work in the yard, you love to work in the garden, and it's just gotten to be too much for you. You haven't been able to get out here, right? Mrs. Zillick now communicates 1 letter at a time using a marker and dry erase board. It's really hard to do the bending over to pull weeds. The mower is hard on his back, your husband's back. My heart doctor won't let me now, so you physically can't get out here and do this. So when a total stranger walked up out of the blue and offered to cut her grass that same day at no charge. When Jimmy came up, she says it was overwhelming. I didn't know I could trust him. So many bad stories with old people.
I've got mint in there, and I've got all kinds of little dawdly stuff.
But it didn't take long for the two to connect. But now that you've gotten to know this guy, Thumbs up. Thumbs up. And oh, the work he has planned for what he calls the Mrs. Zillick Project.
And we're going to take care of all that, trim all these trees back, clean the house up, get the house power washed, get the driveway power washed. I've got 5 trees to take down I sure could use help with.
McDonald, who runs a sprinkler business, is now mobilizing dozens of volunteers on his Katy Waterworks website to give Mrs. Zillick a complete yard makeover for free.
This woman really needs us, and that makes me feel great.
She says, I never dreamed this. My husband will be surprised because he's out of town right now and doesn't know what's happening. No yard work for a week, yay. All thanks to a man willing to lend a helping hand. He's my angel. As if the landscaping issues weren't bad enough inside the home, Mrs. Zillick's plumbing is having some major issues. In fact, the toilets are the only thing working. She can't take a shower or a bath. If you'd like to help all the volunteers come out this weekend and the following weekend and clean up this yard, you can find out how on my Facebook page. Just visit Chris Stipes, Fox 26. We've got a link to the Mrs. Zillick Project. Don, Melinda, this has been an overwhelmingly emotional story, an emotional day, just to see the way that this Dickinson community, this neighborhood, has rallied around this little girl has been truly inspiring. Lining up outside Claire Langford's Dickinson house and winding through the streets of her neighborhood.
It is an absolute dream.
Hundreds of people who mostly don't even know the 5-year-old.
Anytime someone is in need, this community comes together.
But love and support her all the same.
She deserves it. If anyone deserves it, she does.
Little Claire has terminal cancer, but still has dreams of being a princess.
She's a girl. That's why she loves princesses. Glitter and fancy dresses and fancy hair.
On this day, she became one. A complete and total surprise, joining the likes of Belle, Cinderella, and Snow White. What do you think about all these princesses for you?
I like it.
You like it? And picking her up at their front door, the only Prince Charming she's ever known, her dad.
Well, you take one day at a time and you remain thankful for each day that you have, and that's my advice to anyone is be thankful for your family members because life can change in a heartbeat.
What was your reaction when you opened your door and you saw your daddy, your Prince Charming there?
His name is actually Daddy.
His name is actually Dad. You're a sweetheart. Their horse-drawn carriage circled the subdivision over and over again to the cheers and smiles of so many new friends, people who took the time to care.
People know my child's name, and they know her story, and they know her face and her smile and her spirit, and that is the blessing through all of this, is that people know who my child is, who's a loving, caring person.
Well, there are hundreds and hundreds of people here, and they're all here for you. What would you want to say to them?
I really like them.
You really like them? Claire doesn't have much time left. After getting a clean bill of health last summer, just last month, doctors found 5 tumors on her lungs and lymph nodes. That's why the family friends who organized this Princess Parade had to act fast.
It makes me sad. I was thinking today I wanted to take her to Disney on Ice, and that's in April, so might not be here.
There we go.
But she's here right now, on this magical day, when a beautiful girl named Claire Langford brought out the best in so many.
She was always happy, and she was always thankful. And if that little girl can have that spirit, then we can all be happy and thankful and grateful for everything we have.
Kind of puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? We encourage you to go to the Fox 26 Houston Facebook page to leave your prayers and thoughts for the family. Hundreds of people already have.